Reason
This
one more.
conference will now be recorded.
Okay, fine. So in my local computer, I already installed the Anaconda software. So I would like to go for open that particular Anaconda software. So you just simply search for Anaconda Navigator, and it could be open Anaconda Navigator with some delay. So once it is once it is open, then I would like to go for choose the any one of the third-party application. Most of the time, I would like to go for using the Jupyter Notebook. So once I open the Anaconda Navigator, so which is having the some set of other third-party softwares. So from that one, the most of the time I would like to go for using the Jupyter Notebook. The reason is that it was a web-based interactive computing notebook, and most of the companies are using this flavor only. Okay, so that I would like to go for using the Jupyter Notebook. Here we have a launch button. You just click on it. It can be opened over Google Chrome default. Okay, and moreover, we can able to access your local files. So every time I would like to store my all Python programs into one specific location, and so I couldn't create any kind of folder as of now. I would like to go for create the folder now. So I think so yesterday I created, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so in a Krishna folder and Vamshi folder I created. Inside of it, yesterday I just explained you how we can use the Jupyter Notebook. The Jupyter Notebook, which is providing the cells wise. So in a cell, we can write the code as well as we can write the some document. Okay. So if you want to write the code, default it's a code only. Within this particular box, we can write the code and we can run it. And if you want to be make it this particular cell as a okay, so text mode, then we can select here markdown so that we can write the some text here. It might be help you some documentation purpose. Okay. I think yesterday I just explained you the introduction of Jupyter Notebook. So this particular class, I would like to go for explaining about the Python basic syntax actually. So if you are not aware of the Python programming language as of now, you don't worry. I would like to talk from the scratch. Okay. So here I'm using the software is Jupyter Notebook for executing the Python statements. So in this particular class, I would like to start with the basics. So today date is so usually my file format is date, a month, and a date, and a year, and the topic name. So here the topic is it's a Python, a basic syntax. Okay, so I just want to tell you one thing. So here basic syntax, right? So syntax is the a common name for any programming language. Okay, so let's talk about what is syntax. What is syntax? When we are talking about any programming language, okay, so every programming language, it's having its own structure, right? That particular structure we're calling it say syntax. The structure for an instruction, the structure and instruction for the structure to a instruction, okay, that we are calling it say the structure we should follow to write an instruction actually. Okay, so simply we can say that it's a structure, the structure of a program, that we are calling it a syntax. Okay, so every programming language, see here I'm selected the markdown, and here this is heading, and this is the definition for the syntax. And just a simple thing guys, I'm talking about Python basic syntax. The name, we should know what exactly the syntax means. For example, if you want to write a program, we should follow the proper structure. If you're not following the proper structure, definitely you will be getting some errors. That errors we are calling it as syntax errors actually. Okay, for example, let me take a small example. For example, I would like to go for using the print, and here we don't have any kind of syntax errors, so that your program has executed and we got an output. Okay, so intentionally I'm not following the proper structure. I started with double quote, but I'm not ended with the double quote actually. I used the single quote here. Okay, when I did this kind of error, so this kind of error we are calling it as a syntax error. That means, so this is the print statement, you're not following the proper structure. For writing of this particular print statement, you're not followed the proper structure. Okay, because of that one we got a syntax error. Okay, so initially, before we start any programming language, we should habituate it with that particular structure of the program, so that in future, if you're writing some programs, or if you're writing some projects, or if you're writing some softwares, so you won't get this kind of errors actually. Clear? Any questions?
No questions.
Yeah. So I started about Python basic syntax. From that one, I've just given a definition of the syntax, and I show you some examples. If you're not following the proper structure, then what happens? I just showed over here. Okay, that's fine. Now, so the definition is the structure of a program, right? Now I have a question here. What is program? My question is, what is program? Tell me. Anybody? Sumit, Vamsi.
Set of syntax that eventually leads to results.
Set of instructions. Okay, set of instructions. Yes, of course. Set of instructions to do specific task, actually to do any one of the specific task. Okay, if you want to be performing any one of the specific task by CPU or by computers, okay, we have to collect some instructions. That instructions, we are calling it say program, actually set of instructions to do specific task, that we are calling it say a program, right? So by the giving the definition of the program, so we got a word which is instruction, right? Tell me, what is instruction? What is instruction? What is instruction?
Let's say adding two numbers is an instruction.
Okay. So not only adding of two things actually in a program. Okay. Everything in a program is an instruction only. Okay. So whatever you written inside of the program, that it could be a instruction. Okay. So a line of code in a program, a line of code in a program, a line of code in a program, that we are calling it say instructions. Okay, basically the instructions are two types in any programming language, not only Python. In any programming language, there are two type of instructions are there. How many types? There are two type of instructions we can see in a programs. The first one is comments, second one is statements. Here comments and statements are the instructions. Clear? So the program, it might be consisting, or the program, it might be contains either instructions, sorry, either comments, either statements. Okay, I think Jai was joined. Yeah, hi Jai, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing good. Jai, today I would like to talk about Python programming language syntax actually. Okay, if you're not aware of the Python, you don't worry, this class could be fair enough for you. Okay, so every programming language, it has to follow some structure. That particular structure, we're calling it a syntax actually. Okay, if you're following the proper syntax, then only you will be getting an output. If you're not following the proper syntax, you will be getting this kind of errors. Okay, so by the time of explaining the definition of the syntax, okay, which is the structure of the program, right? So that we need to go for understanding the what is program. Program means it's a set of instructions to performing any one of the specific tasks, that we are calling it's a program. So while I'm giving the definition for the program, so we got on word is it's an instruction. So let's go for understanding what is instruction here. So each and everything in a program, or each and every line in a program, that it comes to an instruction actually. So the program is which is consisting two type of instructions. The first one is the comments, and the second one is the statements. Clear? That's
Yeah,
what I
it's
explained for this particular class as of
no,
now.
no problem. Thank you.
Now we just try to go for understanding the comment. So comment means it's just a line of code, or you can say an instruction which cannot be executable. Okay, an instruction which cannot be executable, that we are calling it say comment. Something which could not be executable, then we are calling it a comment actually. Okay, the comments we can implement it in a program because of to give the brief description for each and everything in a program. Okay, to maintain the code. Okay, to give the document or description for each and everything, for each and every statement in a program. So in a program, each and every statement, if you want to describe or if you want to maintain some document, for that one, the comments will help you. Okay. So basically, in a Python programming language, in any programming language, the comments we can implement it in two ways. For example, if you want to comment, comment means what? Something you're stopping hiding, something you're stopping execution by the CPU. Okay. So that means the programmer, he is doing this particular operation, right? So for example, if a line which is started with the hash character, then we are calling it a single line comment. Single line, a comment. Are you clear my point? Single line comment. That means we can comment only one line at a time when you started with hash character. So for example, if you started in, if you given some number of lines inside of the triple quotes, then it's a multi-line comment. Second one is multi-line comment. So multi-line comment in the sense we can comment multiple lines in one shot. So how we can do it actually? So with help of the triple quotes, inside of the triple quote, we can comment the multiple lines. So this all lines which cannot be executable. Clear? So something which is started with a hash character, something we written inside of the triple quotes, those are the comments in any programming in Python programming language. So for example, I want to be write definition of this statement. Statement means something it can be executable. So here print hello is the statement. So which is executed so that we are getting output hello on the screen. Clear? Clear or not?
Yeah, okay.
If you want to note it anything, you can note it. So comments and statements. Comments means cannot be executable. Statement means can be executable. So comments, hash characters, and within the triple quote. Other than that, everything it could be statements in a programming language, in Python programming language. Clear?
Yes.
Okay. So here print hello is the statement so that we are getting which is executable so that we got an output hello on the screen. Now, other than these comments and statement, now we are talking about so every programming language, it must be consisting the two names in Python. There are two names in Python. There are two names in Python. What are those? There are two names in Python. What are those? The first one is the keywords. Okay, those words we are calling it. Say you can say it's a words or names. Okay, words in Python. The first one is keywords. Keywords means it's a predefined words, which means those are the names which are already defined in Python, so that we are calling it a predefined words. Second one is identifiers. Identifiers means which are programmer defined names. Programmer defined names or words. Okay, so the programmer can define some names for his requirement. We can talk about keywords and identifiers. First, let's talk about the keywords. So keywords means you already know which are already defined, right? So where which can be defined? So inside of the Python programming language, I want to look out how many keywords are there in my Python programming language. If I want to look for it, so we have a library. So the name of the library is the keyword. So if you want to access this library into the Python program, then we can use the keyword is import keyword. With help of the import keyword, some libraries we can import into program. Okay, so I want to find the total number of elements, a total number of keywords. For that one, I can use the length function, and here I can use the keyword dot kw list. So this is the kw list which containing the keywords. Kw list which containing the keywords. There are 36 keywords are there. I want to know what are the keywords are there. I want to list what are the keywords are there. Simply keyword dot kw list, if you printed, then which is printing the all the keywords here. Okay, or if you want to display vertically, then instead of printing we just run it. See, so keyword is a library. Inside of the keyword library we have a kw list is there. So inside of this particular kw list we have all keywords are there. So these are all 36 keywords are there. Okay, see, if you're not aware of it, what is the keyword, what is the false, what is none, what is true, what is and as asset, if you don't know, don't worry about it. For upcoming classes we are going to be understanding the each and every keyword. So once if you have a knowledge on this all 36 keywords, which means you have a comfortable knowledge and you have a comfortable subject knowledge on Python programming language. Clear? So if you want to know that some examples for each and every keyword, so there is some data types. So the first Boolean data type. So Boolean means what? Something which is true or false, right? And something which is false, right? When true or false. To representing the true in Python, to representing the true in Python, we have a keyword. The name of the keyword is capital T or UE. Okay. And to representing the false, we should use the capital F and rest of the things will be small. See, if you want to defining the Boolean data, if you want to define the Boolean data, Boolean true, Boolean false are defined with some keywords. True and false are the keywords. For example, I have a variable which is holding some data. The data is capital TRUE. Okay. For example, I have another variable var2 and which is holding the false. So careful observe here, that is a capital VAR and this is small var. Both are different only. Okay. Because of Python is a case sensitive, uppercase letters are different and smaller case letters are different. I want to know what is the data type of the small var. I want to know what is the data type of capital var. With help of the type function, we can able to find the data type of it. So if you run it, see, this is the bool and small var is bool and capital var is also bool. Because of small var also storing the true and capital var is also storing the boolean false. So these two keywords are the Boolean data representation keywords. Clear?
Yeah, clear.
Okay. So meanwhile, we have the none type data. So if you want to representing the none type data in Python, we have a keyword is none keyword. Okay. So none type means nothing we are holding. So for that one, we can use the none keyword to representing the none keyword. So var and we are holding the none. Var means it's a variable which is holding some data. So how to represent everything we can talk once identifier is done. As of now, we can try to understanding the keywords here. So type of var, which is the none type or not. So here none is the keyword and true and false is the keyword. With help of this one, we can we can creating the Boolean and none type data. Okay. And see, one thing we can observe, this is thick green color, right? This is thick green color. We can see here import. Import is also thick green color. That means import is also it's a keyword. We can see import is also it's a keyword. For example, we created some variable which is 34, and you can print this particular variable with help of the print function and variable name. After using this particular data, I want to be deleted. I want to free this particular data. Simply we can use the del keyword. So after you deleted, then we can try to access that one, which can be an error because of you deleted you deleted you deleted this var. Once if you deleted, we can't access, right? Because of that one, we got the name error. This is not syntax error, this is name error, because of var is there, but which is showing that var is not yet defined. You're already defined and we used and you deleted. Once if you deleted, the namespace can be deleted automatically, then we can't access the whatever the variable you deleted. Okay, clear?
Yeah.
So like here the del is also one keyword. For example, we have some list of elements out there. For example, I have a some string. Okay, I have some string. So the string which is having the th is there or not. I have the b which is the th. Substring is available in my main string. If I want to know it, then simply we can use b in a. Here in is the keyword. Here in is the keyword. It can help you one particular element which is a group, or it is a member of this particular group or not. Here th is the which is there inside of this particular python, so that which was returns the true. Like there are many keywords are there, approximately 36 keywords. So each and every keyword concept will talk in a upcoming classes. Clear? In a topic wise. Even if you try to understand all keywords in one shot, which means we cannot remember actually. So once the topic is comes, then I can talk about that particular keywords. Clear?
Yeah.
Any questions as of now? Any
No
questions as
questions.
of now what I spoke?
Before the len, was it for just to create a list?
Sorry?
The len before a little bit higher. You said in one statement you put len.
Boolean, yeah.
One of the dot len was a little earlier.
I couldn't get your point.
Oh, no, I was asking what that was for. It was before you put it. When you put keyword import and then you put len dot keyword or something. Yeah, over there. What was that for?
This one?
Yeah, what does the len do? Print len.
Oh, len. Len is the function. It can find the total number of elements.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so here this is the kw list which containing the this one is one element, this one is one element, this one is one element, something like there are 36 elements are there, so that it was giving the 36. For example, not only here, I can use in somewhere else. For example, I have the variable, and so we have some how many characters are there here. I want to know how many number of characters are there. So here I have a function len. So if I use the len of a, then which is returns the 6, because of there are 6 characters are there. Clear? That is the use of the len function. Here len is the method or function, and which is a free defined function. It can be returns the number of elements in one specific group. Clear?
Yeah, clear.
Okay. I hope as of now I just explained you about keywords concepts. Now, let's talk about the second point, which is the identifier. Okay, so basically, identifiers means which are user defined names. So, identifiers means which are user defined names, or else programmer defined names. Some situations, programmer need to be defined. Programmer need to be defined some words, right? What is the purpose the programmer need to be defined? The reason is that some situations you have to be give the names name entities. We have to provide some names or name entities, okay, to variables. If you want to give the name entities for variables, or name entities for variables, or functions. For example, if you want to defining the functions, so here length is one function, len is one function, right? So this is also one name. Print is one function, right? That is also one name. So if you want to defining the names for functions, and here a is one variable, so this is also one name to defining the variables or names for variables or names for functions and names for classes. Okay, so we can use the identifiers. Clear my point? Yeah. So let's talk about the use case of the identifier is variable. So let's talk about variable. While after explaining the variable, there are some limitation for the identifier that we can talk once we done. Okay. So variables means it's a simple thing. It's a name. It's a name or identifier. Okay. Name or identifier is used to store some data. Is it clear my point? Here the names or identifier is used to store some data in memory locations. In memory location with some specific name. Or simply we can say your identifiers. Your identifiers are used to store some data in memory location with some specific name. Is it clear my point? How we can do it? There is some syntax we should follow. So everything you should follow some syntax actually. The syntax of the variable is, so left side of the equal to symbol, we can defining the one identifier. Identifier means it's just a name. Okay, identifier followed by the some data. So this is the way we can creating the variables in Python programming language. But in other programming languages, we have to declare and we have to define, then we can use it. But in Python, we can directly assigning the data to the variables. Clear?
Yeah.
Let's look some examples. So var equal to 45. So if you want to print this one, we can print it actually. So this is the var which is having some memory location. It can be stored in some memory location. So this is a var which is holding 45. This 45 will be holding into some memory location. If you want to access that memory location, we can use id function. Okay. So it can be returns the memory location. And within this particular memory location, we are holding the 45. I want to know what type of data it was holded. Then we can use the type function, then we can find the data type as well. So within this particular memory location, we are holding the integer data. The data is 45 with this particular name. That is the meaning of the variables. Clear?
Yeah.
Okay. So same thing what I'm doing here. I started with I given a var 4. Okay, here also var 4. So is there any error here? Is there any error? No error. We got an output. For example, we used some underscores, either starting or beginning somewhere else in the middle, wherever you want it, we can do it actually. Okay, it's up to your choice. So even if I'm using the some underscores in my name, so that is also not an issue. So we are getting output actually. So for example, I used the some uppercase combination of the uppercase letters and lowercase letters. Even that one also, I couldn't get any kind of error. So which was given the output, proper output only. Okay. Now, unfortunately, I started with the digit. See, previously I used the digit as a last or fifth, middle or somewhere else. But when I started with the digit, when I started with the digit, then it could be an error. It's a syntax error. Careful observe here. This is the syntax error. That means don't start with it. This is the limitation of the identifier. So this is the name only, right? So when I started with a digit, then it could be an error. So make it that limitations here. Noted that limitation so that it can help you to remember it. So we should follow some rules while giving the names to variables or functions, whatever it is. Here we can use alphabets, uppercase letters and lowercase letters, anything we can use it. Okay, and meanwhile we can use a digit. I think we've seen some examples also, but don't start with a digit. We can use a digit, but don't start with digit. If you started with a digit, that could be an error. And we used the underscore, right? So we can say we can use the underscore. Okay, so these are the limitation as of now. Fine. So here I can list some keywords. Import keyword keyword dot kw list. So here I listed some keywords, right? If I try to use these keywords as an identifier, so here width is the keyword, right? I try to be use the width with 45. So when I try to use the keyword as an identifier, it could be an error. Okay, so simply we can say what are the keywords we mention here, or we are already have it here. Those keywords, if I try to use as a identifier, then it could be an error. So you can simply say that we cannot use, or we can say we cannot use or don't use. Simply we can say don't use keywords. What are the keywords we have it? Those keywords, don't use it. In the meanwhile, if I use some special characters, that could be also an error. So if I use some special characters, okay, that could be an error. So this kind of special characters, if I use as a, if I use it inside of the identifier, then it could be an error. So that, just note that particular limitations here. Don't use special characters. Okay, clear my point?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so if you have any question, please let me know. As of now, I explain you what is program, what is instruction, what are the type of instructions are there, what are the names we have it, and we understood the variables. Okay, so next class we'll talk about the data types concepts. So the Python which is providing some data types, there are totally 10 data types are there. Okay, so what is data type, what are the data types we have it in Python, and how we can representing, like we can talk about those particular data types by next class. Okay, so because of the data type concepts only, it will take almost to understand 45 minutes to 50 minutes. So I think so within this 10 to 15 minutes we can't cover it, even it was left only. So we can continue the data type concepts by on Monday. Any questions, guys? If you have any question, please let me know. I would like to try to upload our files into our Canvas playlist. Every class it should be recorded. The recording I can upload into the Canvas playlist. So as of now, I was not yet created. Once I got a confirmation from the your training this people, then I can create the playlist same like here. Okay, I can upload the yesterday class recording and today class recording and the document what I created yesterday and today, everything I can able to upload into this particular Canvas playlist. Clear? Once I uploaded the Canvas playlist, if you give the mail IDs, then we will be getting the recordings into your LMS platform. Any questions?
No.
Yep. That's what today's class, guys. I hope is everything is fine. We'll catch up tomorrow for continuation of the Python programming language. See you. Take care.
Yeah.
Bye.
Hello.
Yes, Prabhakar, tell me.
Yeah. What about weekend classes?
Sorry,
Weekend classes.
we don't have any weekend classes. We have only weekdays only.
Okay. Tomorrow and day after tomorrow, Saturday, Sunday, no classes, right?
We don't have any sessions on Saturday and Sunday. Again, we can meet on Monday itself.
Okay, fine. Thank you.
Bye. Take care.